obviously, at your last two road games, you guys have put up defensive performances that had people saying like, "Wow, and that was probably the best game you guys have played this year." You know, how have you been able to kind of take this group, especially in the linebacking core, that at the beginning of the year, a lot of guys who hadn't played together? I mean, how have you come together?
Well, one thing that we've done a lot is just we started bonding with each other more, just talking, hanging out. We would go to our linebackers coach's house, and we just have like little get-togethers, like retreats, and just nothing about football, just just bonding, just hanging out, just talking with each other. And then also, we just started like bouncing ideas off each other. Like we'll go over the playbook and ask each other how we feel about a certain play, the game plan, the play calls. And we just listen to our coaches and we just trust what our coaches say to put us in the right position. And everything kind of falls into place and, just builds trust between the players and the coaches.
There's something about this staff that has sparked something this year?
I would say it's kind of the deal that, we just got to trust them and know that they're putting us in the best position, in the best, possible way to make plays. And that's why I feel like we've been making plays and starting to come together as a defense because, we listen to what our coaches say and we don't, just go out there and do our own thing, but we use the techniques that they taught us. We go over the game plan, we play a certain play the way they taught us, and we just kind of make a team beat us with something that they haven't showed us or a way that our coach hasn't taught us to play it.
Go back to that last game. You guys came up with a huge stop in the fourth quarter. How much fun was it to play in a situation where you guys had to come up with a play and you did?
It was really fun, and if you go back and watch the game, you can see that we're just out there having fun. Like there wasn't a lot of heads hanging low in critical situations where they got like the third down. You will see actually guys like, all right, let's bring it on. Like we're ready for the challenge, and it was just great. Like it felt good. Like the game slowed down, the pieces were there, and we just had fun. We feel like we just just went out there and really played hard and just gave it to them.
That being said, does that make the loss maybe hurt a little bit more at the end?
Yeah, it does because in life, in general, whenever you don't put your all in something and you just BS it or just not care, it doesn't hurt as much. But when you put your all into something and you don't get the outcome that you predict, it hurts pretty bad. So this loss just tore us apart as a defense. Like it killed us. But we can't look back and we can't dwell on the past. We just got to keep moving forward.
Some of the positives that you've seen from the game against Stanford defensively, some of your stops, how do you use that as motivation and fuel for the next game against Utah?
Well, as we watch film and, like you said, there were a lot of stops and highlight plays. And what our Coach Choate pointed out to us was this is how a great defense looks on the regular. And, they're upset if it doesn't look that way. So we're kind of installing that in ourselves, like that's how we want to look. That's how we want to be remembered. Your film is your resume. So it just kind of like that's just motivation to us, like to make every play look as those highlight plays looked on defense versus Stanford.
As a second-year senior, or as a second-year freshman, I should say, does a loss like this have more of a moral victory feel than per se if you were a little bit older?
No, I'm a competitor, and I hate to lose no matter what it is. Rock, paper, scissors, tic-tac-toe, football game, and a loss is a loss. And it really doesn't matter because going through high school, I learned that nothing is for granted, and really, like, you just got to cherish your time because those 4 years flew by fast. And I know these will too, so any loss, it just kills me, and I don't believe in moral victories. And it just sucks to lose in whatever because there's a winner and there's a loser. There's no in between. There's nothing. You either win or you lost.
With that said, though, are you guys feel like you're on the verge of getting that win each week, getting closer and kind of getting the pieces together as a complete team?
We kind of feel like we're taking incremental steps, but, we kind of feel like we need to take bigger steps and bigger bounds and leaps and not take a step back. Like, we want to keep growing without taking a step back, but not do it in baby steps. Like, we got to just bring it together and try to, take leaps and bounds now, but, in the same sense, just be, cautious of not taking a step back or falling down or being like a roller coaster on defense or offense.
Darryl, quite a few guys make some great plays Saturday. Dayon and Travis, you know, their stats are off the charts this year. Can you just talk a little bit about their overall seasons they're having?
Both of those guys are having great seasons, and they're a great, I would say, confidence booster to the defense. You know, their presence on the field is always known. Like, you always know when those guys are out there. And having Dayon and Travis, you know, on defense, it kind of makes it easier for the other players because, you know, when a team comes to play us, they game plan for those two guys. And you can kind of tell when we run blitzes, you know, you can tell that teams are sliding to Travis. And it opens it up for me, you know, which is, you know, the reason I'll give Travis and the D-line a lot of credit for the success that the linebackers have had and some of the sacks that I've had, because they would think Travis is coming on a blitz and I just come free. And, you know, Dayon is just a presence back there that you just don't want to throw near him or by him because he's going to hit you or he's going to, you know, intercept the ball.
What do you guys know about Utah or seen on film? Or kind of early to...
Well, yeah, like you said, it's pretty early, so, you know, we're just touching the bases of the film. You know, players, we're just watching it together, just bouncing some ideas off each other, so I can't give you a complete answer right now.
You remember last year's game at all? Or...
Yeah, I remember last game from the sideline, and it was pretty intense. One thing I do know about Utah is no matter who they play, whatever year it is, they always come to play hard and they don't give up. So I definitely know that when we go down to Salt Lake City, it's going to be a dogfight.
Have you ever played in altitude before?
Would you call it BYU altitude?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, and
Yeah, how was that?
it was an adjustment, but hey, we adjusted. I mean, from Florida to here, I mean, hey, you know, something that, you know, I kind of got used to, kind of got to deal with it, so it was all right.
You probably got your legs back under you a little more now than you did against BYU, right?
Yeah, definitely. I've been actually working on that, you know, like with myself at every week and just kind of trying to rebuild things to back how they were and just get them stronger than the previous week.
Darryl, what was the reaction on the team to the Twitter ban?
You know, I think everyone just kind of blew out of proportion in what it really was. It was just, you know, he talked to us about it, and majority of the team got the message. Some people didn't. He banned it. That was the last we heard of it. Happened one practice, next day we were on and moving again. You know, it's nothing to dwell about, nothing to get pissed about. It's just a distraction that we did not let come between us and practicing and trying to get better.
So he had talked about it before the ban was actually put in place?
Well, when he first got here, he just, you know, be careful what you say on social media. We kind of had a seminar about it. So it was kind of, you know, just clear and cut, just be careful what you say to the media. And I mean, you know, it happened. Punishments were given out or whatever. You know, he banned it. That was the punishment. And we moved on about it. We didn't let it affect us or come in between anything we had to do. We just kept moving on.
Questions on the line for Darryl?
Well, I got one for you. This will be the second trip you guys have made to the state of Utah this year. You feel better equipped as a defensive unit, you know, to play Utah than maybe you did against BYU?
May you repeat that question?
Yeah. Second trip you guys have made to the state of Utah this year, you know, the opener against BYU and now 2 months later. I mean, can you kind of assess whether the defense is better equipped to, you know, at this point than it was in the opener?
I think absolutely. I think even if you watch the film, you can, you know, you can apply that yourself. But I think really that it just comes from us trusting our coaches, like I said earlier, and just trusting each other and building that chemistry because, you know, we got a lot of guys on defense who hasn't had much experience. And then we got older guys like Travis and Dayon who, you know, have to rebuild a chemistry and a relationship and trust in all of us to know that, you know, we're going to be accountable to them and also accountable to ourselves. And not just that, just, you know, understanding the defense and understand, you know, our techniques and why we were coached to do what we were coached to do and to just follow those, you know, those techniques.